Hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? I think I'll try to beat Mustafa Ali. Seems like a pretty big trend right now. And as I'm talking right here, someone is probably beating Mustafa Ali. It's just so much fun. What did you do to piss off Triple H, dude? I'm gonna be honest, guys, I wasn't feeling this episode of Monday Night Raw. The flow just wasn't there, and I do have a big problem with Triple H's booking lately. Can you guess what it is? Something that happens all the time, way too often, with every storyline, 50 times per show, and yes, it's brawling. A brawl after brawl after a brawl after a brawl. Like, I get it. It does make sense. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to see it 50 times per show. I enjoy Triple H's WWE far more. Like, don't get me wrong, at a certain point, it becomes lazy booking. One thing that people didn't like is the change of Johnny Gargano's theme song, which I don't necessarily understand. Sue me, I kinda like it. It's basically the same song with a different artist. I mean, it's just a remix and it kinda makes sense. Even the lyrics make much more sense. As far as I understood, like, I honestly just heard it like once, I think it's all about his second coming, which makes sense. The only second coming I care about is obviously Veer Mahan. Can't wait for that splash. Okay, it's not about that. Let's talk about Raw. The show kicked off with Kevin Owens, and he did have a pretty good explanation. The reason he decided to attack Roman Reigns is because they obviously have unfinished business. He took Roman Reigns to the limit, and the only reason he didn't win the championship is because of the Usos. He actually talked about that like 2 months ago, I believe, so it does make sense. He also revealed the reason why he's going to fight Sami Zayn is because he has a problem with Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn is still his brother, so he has no problems with Sami Zayn. He wants to take out the Bloodline so he can take the championships. Then he introduces us to the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre, who made a Shield parody, I believe. The Brawling Brutes, the Irish fellas, are pretty funny lads, you know. God, that was bad. And they obviously talked about War Games. Drew McIntyre says he can't remember a time when the Bloodline weren't holding their titles hostage, and that is going to change on Saturday. Then we see the Judgment Day, and they basically told him that you're not welcome on Monday Night Raw. Sheamus says, I always had a problem with you. We're both from Ireland, but I can't wait to beat the living crap out of you. Sheamus challenges Judgment Day to a tag team match, and they accept. That's how we got the Brawling Brutes versus the Judgment Day. Drew McIntyre was watching the match, and Kevin Owens was on commentary, which is always just so nice to hear. That was actually the highlight. Kevin Owens is hilarious on commentary. I can already see Kevin Owens as the type of dude who ends his career. Hopefully that's not gonna come soon. Hopefully like after 10, 15, 20 years, whatever the case may be, he joins the commentary and he's the best commentator on the roster. So obviously that was a pretty fun match as expected. Lots of chemistry between all the guys. Like literally every wrestler involved is so much fun to watch. So I can't really complain other than the fact that it did feel kinda random. It was kinda random. And that wasn't the only segment that felt this way to me. You know, Baron Corbin versus Drew McIntyre also felt to me like it wasn't supposed to be on the show. It does nothing for the stories. Absolutely nothing. You know, one guy doesn't have anything to earn, and the loser just loses when we don't even have a storyline between the two. In this match, we saw Dominic trying to leave, but we got the OC. Anyway, the match continues, and the Brawling Brutes picked up the W with a nice looking bro kick. That was the best Dominic sell of all time. After the match, the brawl continues. Finn Balor is left in the ring alone, and we saw a stunner. Just a bunch of lads having fun. So yes, it wasn't bad, the match itself was good, but like I've said, it just feels unnecessary. You know, it does remind me of this time when we got the wild card rule or whatever, and we just had a bunch of big names for the sake of having a bunch of big names on the show. It especially doesn't make much sense since Roman Reigns and the Bloodline are on SmackDown. So what's the point? We were supposed to see Johnny Gargano versus The Miz. Johnny Gargano got a new theme song, which a lot of people hated. I like it because it doesn't scream anymore, I'm the ultimate underdog. Okay, to be fair, it's just like with Christian. You know, he had 2 theme songs. It was basically the same song, different artists. Both of them were good. But we didn't see The Miz versus Johnny Gargano because The Miz got injured by making TikTok dogs. God, I hate this. So instead, we got Johnny Gargano versus Omos. I don't understand this one. So basically, the match was okay, whatever. It's obviously big man versus small man. I get the point, but the fact that Omos had to kind of cheat to win against Johnny Gargano, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. And I'm not saying that Johnny Gargano should get squashed as well. You just don't book this type of match on a random episode of Raw. Seth Rollins talked about Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory. We are going to get a triple threat match at Survivor Series. He wants to face them in a triple threat match because, two birds, one stone. He also said, look at what I did to Cody, which was kind of a heel move. So I believe Seth Rollins is not necessarily just a good guy, America. He's in between. Let's say he's a good guy who has plenty of problems, but fashion ain't one. And again, Austin Theory says I'm not the same guy anymore. So then we got Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali. The match itself was alright, I love Mustafa Ali in the ring, but you can probably guess who won this match. Yes, it was Austin Theory. One thing I'll say, A-Town down finisher is kinda growing on me. Still not the biggest fan, but I don't hate it as much. Bobby Lashley says, I've heard you talk shit, man. Why don't we do this right now? And Austin Theory was actually standing in the ring waiting for Bobby. Bobby makes fun of Austin Theory for, his failed cash-in, and Austin Theory blames him. And we got it, bro. Like I've said, Austin Theory was not afraid. He didn't leave the ring. Now, as you can imagine, Bobby Lashley was dominant. It led to Austin Theory eventually running away, which does make sense. But then he sees an injured Mustafa Ali, so he pushes him into Bobby Lashley like a prop. And then Bobby beats the crap out of Mustafa Ali. Everyone hates Ali. After seeing this every week now, I have some plans. I'm going to try to beat Mustafa Ali because the booking says even I could do this, right? No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that at all. So far, the new version of Austin Theory is working. Maybe it wasn't the best decision, for him to be in a rivalry against Bobby Lashley because obviously you can't book Austin Theory very strong against Lashley. But we'll see. Then we got Elias and Riddle versus Alpha Academy. I'm not really a big fan of this, so Riddle and Elias won the match. I'm not a big fan of this tag team. They're trying to replicate Randy Orton and Riddle. It's clearly not working. It's not interesting. I gave it a chance. I forgot about it. Move on. JBL kind of appreciates Drew McIntyre, and obviously then he made a sports reference and whatever. I don't get this shit. JBL says if Baron Corbin had me in his corner at WrestleMania, Baron Corbin would have won. Let's put it to the test. How about me and you and Baron Corbin right now on Raw? Why don't we do this right now? I respect elders, but not you. Again, that's what I'm talking about. Did we need to see this match? I don't necessarily mind that, happening from time to time, but we got a lot of this on this show, and it's a go-home show. Like, it didn't really got me any more interested about the pay-per-view. Hopefully SmackDown does that. So we did see Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin. It was okay. I'm not saying the match itself was bad. I'm just saying I didn't really care. And it's one of these matches that does nothing for Drew. If he wins, he doesn't gain any credibility. If Baron loses, he kinda loses some credibility. And this match didn't need to happen. We did see Akira Tozawa. That was kinda funny. I guess he got his attire back. Awesome. Obviously, Corbin lost the match, and it just didn't need to happen. Obviously, I'm nitpicking because I'm making a review. Some people are going to say, yeah, you're bitching. The Great One is bitching again. Well, I'm making a video. I'm supposed to talk about what happened, good and bad. If I'm just sitting right here and complimenting everything, or hating everything, or just recapping, why would you watch me? And I'm just talking to a specific group of people, like few comments or whatever are always going to be like, well, I can't believe you hated this. Well, it's just my opinion. It doesn't matter that much. I make videos for entertainment. I'm not trying to change the wrestling business. Anyway, it's not that deep. It's not a big problem. We can work this out. We virgins are different. We can work this out. No need to argue. Yet another brawl. This one was actually good, but it's like, I've seen this so many times. Every week, I'm so tired of this shit. It makes sense, of course, it's fighting. They're building, but I believe it's a bit too much. I want some twists and turns in these storylines. Something needs to happen. Making a brawl is easy. Good promo, two lines can actually, do more impact to a storyline than just 5-10 minutes or whatever of brawling. Like, it doesn't change anything, right? I don't know, maybe I'm just nitpicking. Bianca, Alexa, and Asuka talked about war games. Then we saw Damage Control and Rhea Ripley. This promo didn't really do anything right here, which kind of does make sense. There's not that much to tell anymore. Like, we get it, right? The only thing that's interesting right now is that we don't know the next member of the group. People are saying, "Hya. I don't know. Don't get your hopes up, people. Don't get your hopes up." We got Asuka versus Rhea Ripley, which was actually pretty fun. That was the main event of Monday Night Raw. And during this whole match, I was thinking, man, the only person who needs to dethrone Bianca Belair is Rhea Ripley and nobody else. That's the only new champion I'm going to accept at this point. I'm so glad she got fixed. She gained back that mystique. How do I put this? It seems logical to put Rhea Ripley in a ring against someone like AJ Styles. You know what I'm saying? Like, she looks so strong right now. I'm buying it. So the match was a lot of fun. Rhea Ripley picks up the W, and guess what happened? Brawling! Yes! Big fight broke out. Oh my god, who's gonna survive at War Games? Ah! How do I say anything at this point without people getting angry? I don't know. Again, I don't mind this. What I'm trying to say is, it's a bit too much. I've seen this already. Especially with this, like this storyline. It happened ever since Damage Control debuted. Like, what was that? 2 months ago, whatever. Every week, I'm tired of this. Please change it up. Use words. I don't know. Anyway, people, I am excited about the paper. This show just didn't do anything for me, unfortunately. But lately, it seems like SmackDown is the show to watch anyway. So, yeah, these 3 hours, I can still feel him. Thank you for watching The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.